This is our multiverse of 100 plus data science project series that you can see you already built so many projects. So up to project number 87. Now let's continue our series again. And okay, back to the project number 88. AutoCorrect feature predict and correct misspelled words. It helps to save time invested in the editing of article, emails, and report. This feature is added many website and social media platform to ensure easy typing. In this tutorial, we will build a Python-based auto-correction feature using NLP and NLTK library. So I already built this code. So I'm going to explain the code each and every lines in details. So first, what I can do basically, we are going to importing here the analytical library. So analytical library is nothing but for our natural language processing based tasks. It's basically used on that. And also import here the array. Array means regular expression so that you can also remove it or you can find it. And after that, you also import the string. It's nothing but for do some calculations or do some operation in its string. It can be adding or multiplication like that. And then you also import from nltk.steam, we import here the whatnat lematizer. It's basically converting the word into some kind of base form. Okay. And then because we are using here the Google Colab, so we need to also upload here the files, I mean our data sets. That's why I also import it here. That's from google.colab, I import here the files. And then I also downloading this whatnat so that I can combine it to the lemmatizers. I can apply it here. That's why I also downloading this nltk.download whatnat. You can also make it as a wall so that it can downloading all of the NLTK. But in our cases, just we need the tools. One is whatnat, another is OMW 1.4. So you can simply go into download this out. Okay. So one more thing, make sure that you want to selecting here your runtime in the form of GPU. Okay, because you're support. That's why. So you can see here, it is basically downloading this package from whatnat to analytical data. Cool. Now, after that, into actually uploading here our data. So what I can do, I'm just going to running this shell. So to choose here a file, final.txt, because we're using here these files, we downloaded it from Kaggle. Don't worry, you will get this thing in the descriptions. Okay, let's selecting here final.txt. I'm click here to open, and it's basically uploaded and upload it in this section. You can see final.txt. Cool, cool. Now you can see that we print here on a statement called upload utxt datasets, I mean final.txt, that you downloaded from Kaggle. No problem, I'll also give you the link. And you're also creating an instance of the file uploads. And then we basically upload is based on keys. And then you also give it to the file names, and the R is nothing but in a reading mode. And encoding is UTF-8. It's basically for the English text as F. And then we basically converting here the text into the lowercase letter because of the case sensitivity. It maybe have a word called uppercase. It may be the word called in the lowercase. So just make it in a single case. It can be the lower. You can also make it upper, whatever you can. But it's better you can make it lower. And after that, we basically finding here all of the alphanumeric characters and try to remove it from the word. Because alphanumeric word is not needed. Like a special character is not needed in this case of auto characters. And then we basically creating here a vocabulary for unique words. I mean, we have the words, let's say Pythons, let's say Python, like that. We're just going to take it here, the unique word, just making a set of that. So I'm simply going to shift and run. Okay, oh yeah, run actually again. Okay, I need to upload it again. Sorry, my bad. I uploaded 2 times. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay. Now, if I see the next function that's called count word frequency. Now, how can you basically count the word frequency and what is that? Okay, what this function actually do? So we create these functions called word count frequency, right? So what it basically do? Let's say I have a word called Pythons. So my Python word is basically available 10 times. So my hello word is available for 20 times. And let's say my world word is available for 50 words. So it basically creating here and count word frequency. How many times the word is basically appear in our code program. I mean, our programs. So this function is actually counting here the word frequency and try to creating here a dictionary of that. So creating here a dictionary, I mean a list, and we make it as a word count. And after that, we basically iterate to all the value from here using for each loop. And then we basically store it inside our dictionary. And how can we basically count it? We can basically count it using here this formula. I mean word count.get word and 0. So that this word, the word we have should be is go in a frequently manner. That's why we make it +1, +1, +1, +1. Let's say I have a word called Pythons. So if it is appear for the first time, the count should be the one. And if it's appear for the second time, it will try to getting the word count from the dictionary and try to increment the count of that. And then finally, you basically returning the word counts. So if I'm just going to running this out, okay, and if I'm going to take it here and word shell, and if I'm going to copy here this one, let's say call counting here the word frequency. Let's say we have the count of word frequency. Let's say count of word frequency. And if I just going to pass in my vocab, so if I see this dictionary how it look like, and you can see here this word is appear at one time because we converted this word into the vocabulary, and which is something in word. That's why the word is basically word. So you can also give it to here one word. Let's say I'm going to make it here. Let's say world. So world. And if I see this one, I may got some answers. You can see W is available for one times, O is available for one times, R is available for the one time, and D is available for the one time. So what it can do for this word, it will try to give it here one frequent, the count word frequent. If I give it here again, let's say world is so cool world, like that. Okay. Now, if I'm going to run this out, and you can see word count of the W is 3, word count of the 0 is basically 6, and word count of the R is basically 3, like that. Okay. So what this function actually do, it will try to do the word counts. And after that, it will actually calculating the probability. We to calculate the probability. So if I see this one, what is the formula of the word probability? This is the formula. Okay. So we have the formula called count of word. It means that how many word is available, total words, as well as total words mean how many total word is available in the data sets, as well as this word that you pass it here. The word is pass it here, the count of this word. Let's say my count of the word is basically the 50, and my total word is, let's say, the 1500. So this case, my probability is basically, if I dividing this one, it may be 0.03 something like this. Okay. So we back got here the probability of each word, that how the word is basically correlated to each other, because we are creating here an O2 characters. We are creating here an O2 character. That's why. Okay. This is very important things. And after that, what I can do, we basically creating here an instance of the what net lemmatizers that you can see. Okay, it may be some freezing or hanging because of the network issue, but don't check this out, just focus on here. Okay, so what we can do basically in the case of what net lemmatizers, we are basically creating here the 5 functions. Okay, so why this one? Let's go on here. So we are basically creating here the 5 functions that you can see, 1 2 3 4, and this one is a itself, I mean number 5. So what we basically do, this lemmatizers actually do, it will try to convert in this word into the base form, Let's say I have a word called running. So what it can do, it will convert in this word into run, because the running is having the gerunds. Okay. So we need to actually removing this ing. So make it here the runs. So let's say we have a word called curds. So we make it as a curd, because this is a base form of that. That's why lemmatizer is basically used, the base form of that. Cool, one is done. And second one is possible mistake. Let's say I type here a word in my messaging box. Let's say hello. Let's say he and he. Let's say I can say that HELO, like that. So this is wrong. So what it can do, it will just give me unsuggestions. It may be hello, it may be hello, it may be hell, or it may be hell. So possible mistake, it means that possible mistake, how many mistake it can be happen. Let's say I type here a word called hello, where L is missing. So I can also type here hello, or user can type here hello, or user can type here the hell, or user can type here the hell. So that's a possible mistake, it maybe happens. That's why these functions. Why it is important? Because the autocorrector means we are just typing here a wrong word, and our program is trying to make it correct. Okay. And then we can also swap the letters. Let's say I give it here a word called HLE. I can also swap these two words. I can actually swap these two words, and I can easily make it here hello. Yes, I can also do that for corrections. And also the replace letter. I can also replace the letter. Let's say I'm going to replacing here this letter called P to the U, O to the P. Okay, I can also replacing here this L to the R. I can also replacing here this also add here another word called the L. So letter called L. I can easily replace the letters. Cool. And then also I can also insert it. Let's say I want to insert here a letter called L. I can do that. It means that we have the 5 functions for the correcting things. Okay, it's look like the edit distance problems in the DSR. Okay, that's fine. So you can see that we basically creating here this function for delete letters, the swap letter, the replace letter, and the insert letter. You can, no problem, you can get this code in the description and you can easily grab this code here. So what actually happened is just going to taking here the other words and try to apply here this logics. Now after that, what you need to do, that's the most important part. That's called the generate here the candidates. Okay, I think it also run in this shell as well. Okay, what I can do, it can run in this shell and this shell as well. Okay, and after that you need to actually generate here the candidates. Okay, now let's see how the generate candidates function actually work. So what it can do, let's say I have an example called spelling. Okay, this is totally correct, sorry, totally wrong word, and you can see the spelling is basically wrong. So what it can do, it will generate here some candidate. It may be possible, it may be the spelling, it may be a spelling, it may be a spelling, like that. Those are the possible word, it may be possible. That's the possible word. If I type here a word called hello, like that, it may be the hello, or it may be the help, or it may be the hero, like that. Okay, it may be, it's not about an candidate, it may be the candidate. So that's why we are basically converting, generating here all of the candidate using here those five formula, using here this five function, not formula, using these five functions that already created. This is how we basically do the auto corrections, right? It's mean that we can basically run in these shells, as well as you can see here generating here the candidate levels too. So what it actually does, it will try to creating here the candidate using here two tires. Just two times it will try and try to correct it. Let's say I have a word called a spelling, higher L is missing, and if it is apply here the two times this kind of formula, it may be getting his spellings. So after that, it will taking here the correct ones, and then we need to do the corrections, and then we need to do the corrections. That's called the best corrections. So what this best correction actually done, it will try to calculating here the candidate and do the intersections of the candidate what level 2 and the what level 1s. So we apply here the intersections to our whole vocabulary, because vocabulary is having all of the unique words, and try to creating here a candidate list. And after that, we are going to short it. We are going to short it because we have the more candidate words based on our probability. That's why we're simply going to shorten this out, and we make a rebase as the true. Okay, rebase as the true. This is nothing but this is the same code. And also give it to the max suggestion is basically 3, so that it can give the max suggestion number of the 3. I mean 3 word. Okay. And after that, what we can basically do, we can just running this out, and then we can basically taking an input from the users, and we can calling here this function called best corrections, and then it will give me the suggestions. You can make it 5. If I make it 5, and it will give me the 5 autocorrect suggestions. Let's say I give it here a word called let's say quick. So I just make it here quickie, like that, and you can see quite quick, like that. It give me this kind of suggestions. Okay, so it maybe give the 3 suggestions maybe. Okay, it's by default. Okay, by default it's give me 3 suggestions, so I can make it 5. So it will basically give me, let's say, quick, wrong word, and you can see quite quick, and you can see that this kind of suggestion that I actually got. This is very super simple, but it's very important in terms of the autocorrectors. And those are the basic things. The 5 things: lemmatizing word, the delete letter, the swap letter, the replace letter, and the insert B letters. Okay. So the summary is basically the distance problems in the essay and the probability that you can see on here. So which is very, very important. So I'm not going to make it here any kind of Flux application for that, because even though I already make so many applications using Flux, and you can also using the Streamlit or any kind of framework and creating the application for that. Okay, so that's it for today. Now I hope you enjoy this full tutorial, and make sure to subscribe to the channels and share with your friends. Thank you and bye bye.